For your forewarned weather with Seth Sanders.
Seth, it'd be real nice if we could break out of this pattern that feels more like spring than wintertime. I mean, heck, they canceled the skijoring today in Cache Valley, like we told you. It's crazy times.
It is crazy times, and I wish I had better news for you, but it's just not going to be the case.
Bummer.
Yeah, we have a notorious Rex block. It's called a Rex block. I won't nerd out on it, but it's called a Rex block. Basically, it's going to block us into this pattern.
Great.
We're going to get locked into this pattern. It's unfortunate, and there's nothing on the way, but I'll talk about that in just a second. We don't have a whole lot of snow on the mountains like you were saying, Brian. This picture from Cottonwood Canyons shows not as much white as I would like. It does have some snow. Snow does exist, but as you can see, there's a lot of shrubbery poking around that. Down in southern Utah and up here in the north, it was a beautiful sunset across the state. Susan Manel down in Cedar City and Brittany up here in Pleasant Grove. Beautiful pinks and reds. We love to see that. Beautiful day at the Black Desert Resort as well. This is Ivans. You can see the people out enjoying the greens. A beautiful day to get out in January. It was a beautiful day up here in the north as well. Satellite radar shows that we have high pressure in control. That's one of the reasons that we're seeing such pleasant weather. Now we do have a little bit of moisture trying to sneak around this ridge of high pressure impacting the West Desert and northern Utah, but these are high altitude clouds, the thinner clouds. So we're not expecting any precipitation with that. That high pressure is going to move in and give that moisture the boot. Temperatures right now are above freezing across the Wasatch Front, freezing in Logan. We have 30s down I-15 through central and southern Utah, 48 degrees in St. George. All right, look at this time lapse. This is from Cache Valley, Utah State University. You could see the ice on the trees. We had freezing fog this morning, and eventually it cleared out in the late morning hours, but we could have more of that tonight. We've already hit freezing, and we are getting close to dew point, which when we hit or when we get near it, that's when we start to see that fog form. This is our future visibility. It's picking up on some fog up in Cache Valley. We also have some in the Wasatch Front, especially between Salt Lake and Ogden. The closer you are to the Salt Lake, the more fog I anticipate you'll have. And then we'll fast forward this to your commute hours right around 8 o'clock, and you see that fog continuing to build. Brigham City could tap into that as well, so just be safe on your morning commute. I look at this time lapse. This is from Nelson Peak, our A-plus garage camera. You see that haze near the valley floor? This is looking towards Utah Lake. You can see the sun shining off of it right there. We have more of that for tomorrow. Our air quality right now is in the moderate from Cache Valley all the way down to Salt Lake Valley, Tooele Valley, also looking at it, Rush Valley, Weber, Davis counties. And we even have elevated particulate matter on the eastern side of the state, Duchesne and Grant County, and even Iron County down in the southwest portion of the state. Tomorrow it's going to be more of the same. Elevated particulate matter for the Wasatch Front and Cache Valley, northern valleys with moderate air, and then down in the south and eastern portions of the state, it should remain clean for the majority of the day. All right, let's take a step back and look at the big picture here. We have this high pressure in control. That's going to bring even warmer weather for tomorrow. It'll also allow for that haze to build since we have the calm conditions. It'll allow the cool air to sink to the valley floors, and that warm layer is going to trap the particulate matter right here on the valley floors. And then the good news is we do have a system that'll be skimming us to the north. That should help mix out some of that inversion haze. The bad news is that high pressure builds too quickly for it to dip down into the Beehive State, so we won't get any moisture or any precipitation from that, just an increase in cloud coverage, maybe a drizzle if we're very lucky. Warm conditions return by the middle of the week. We're not going to cool down all that much. And then there's that Rex block pattern I was talking about. That high pressure is going to lock that low pressure in place, and those two systems are just going to stay there, which means we are going to hold on to that dry air all the way through the first week of February and even into the second week of February. Our long-term outlooks are still looking at dry conditions and way above average temperature. So even if we are lucky enough to get a little bit of a drizzle, it's going to be rain, not snow. Regional forecast for tomorrow shows we're going to be even warmer with temperatures in the low 50s across northern Utah, mid to upper 50s down in central and southern Utah, 65 degrees for St. George, and it gets warmer, 68 degrees by Sunday, and those mid to upper 60s are holding on the entire week with clear skies, only a cloud or two streaming through this week. The Wasatch Front has hazy conditions for this weekend, temperatures in the 50s, 51 degrees for Grand Groundhog Day with partly cloudy skies Monday and Tuesday. 49 degrees on your Tuesday, but then it warms back up to the 50s, mid-50s by this time next week. So yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of activity in the forecast, a whole lot of picnic weather in January. And before I send it back to you, Brian, Groundhog Day, it's a lie. Don't listen to the groundhog. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Listen to the experts. Brian, we're going to send it over to you.